Right now, back in the testimony, they're going through some text messages between Michael Cohen and Keith Schiller, who was an attorney who I believe worked with Karen McDougal, as they continue to talk about that deal that was worked with Dylan Howard from the American Media Company, and some color in the courtroom. And forgive me, Keith Schiller is Trump's body man. So it's between Michael Cohen and Keith Schiller, Trump's body man, as they're talking about what's happening kind of in the background of this Karen McDougal story and how they're going to handle that. Some color from the courtroom from our Lisa Rubin. It says Trump's shoulders are slightly slumped right now in his chair. His eyes remain closed as Cohen explains how he told Trump of a story involving Karen McDougal that was being shopped. And Cohen said Trump responded by saying she was really beautiful, which you had mentioned as well, Chris. So what do you think is the next move? They're going to have to go through Karen McDougal, right? Because chronologically, it makes sense. It was the doorman. It was Karen McDougal before Stormy Daniels' story came along. How important is the Karen McDougal story?
I think it's very important because, again, it shows that pattern of wanting to hide these stories. And it also shows, and it sounds like from the testimony they're doing a great job of it, showing Trump's knowledge of the stories and his awareness of wanting to shut them down, as well as guiding Michael Cohen to shutting them down, but then also congratulating him and saying, hey, I know this story, I don't know this story, but great job for shutting it down. So I think it's very important. Can I interrupt you?
Because that's exactly what you're saying, and I'll get your reaction to this. They were going back about, Hoffenger's asking Michael Cohen, why were you trying to reach Donald Trump regarding the Karen McDougal matter that I thought was important? Is this an example of you contacting Mr. Trump to give him updates on what happened to Karen McDougal? Yes, ma'am.
And therein lies the intent and the knowing elements that the prosecution needs to show. But again, it's got to be around the Stormy Daniels story that the prosecution has to show it, right? Because as of right now, these are really direct evidence of concealing those stories. But the business falsification records deal with Stormy Daniels and the hush money payments with regard to that. So in order to rise it to a felony, they have to show that there was a concealment effort on that particular story. But again, what it does is it sets the foundation for that pattern so that when this direct evidence with regard to Trump's knowledge and awareness to conceal the Stormy Daniels story comes out, and the revelation to conceal the reimbursement payments really is the nail in the coffin, I think, with regard to the prosecution's case.
Does this part of the story, Jeremy, come up in the cross-examination at all? Do you think that his lawyers just stay away altogether from Karen McDougal and the doorman at all?
I wouldn't be shocked. Well, let me take that back. I think they go into everything that he's speaking of, because anytime you can impact his, challenge his credibility and get him potentially emotional and get him off track, you seize that opportunity. That all being said, I think the prosecution really needs to move this as quickly as possible to get where they need to get and get him off the stand, because the longer he's there, the more likely that he's going to combust. So this just really needs to be effective and direct and move it along. And if there's something in evidence I want to introduce or have him go back and actually see a particular document or text message, let's get it in, let's get it out.
So how long would you expect him to be on the stand?
Well, they're talking days, but I would hope that it would be less than that. Absolutely less than that. Because at some point you have diminishing returns. There's diminishing value in what he can do and say.
I think that for a witness like Cohen, I'm expecting, if I'm a prosecutor, that he's on the stand for a full day and maybe some change in terms of my direct case. I think in terms of what I have to get in through him, the foundation that I have to lay, the pace that I want to go through, and what I need to cover in terms of shoring up his credibility so he doesn't ultimately get impeached on the stand for credibility, I'm calculating a day to a day and a half would be solid. And then, how long and I think that one of the things that is a calculation here is you deal with your witness or a witness like Michael Cohen with full knowledge that the jury is going to have to sit through whatever they do on cross. Now, if you think about what they did with the Stormy Daniels cross, it at some point became a little misdirected. At some point, it seemed like it was all over the place. So at the end of the day, you're playing hot potato with the jury. You just don't want to be the one who has the witness on the stand for too long in the eyes of the jury, because then they'll penalize you for it. So however long he is, you have to think, is it going to be shorter or longer, or do I think that the potential for their cross at this point could help me out in terms of how long they keep him on the stand, trying to make him look like a liar? You think about all of these things. So again, my estimation, my target for a witness like Michael Cohen is going to be a day and a half or a day and some change.